Moi Poleni, and welcome to episode 253 of Konnakol 2020, the video series in which every day of the year I show you something about Konnakol, that is the vocal percussion tradition of South India. I am Carlitos from Slovenia, and today is September the 9th. And because it is September the 9th, that is, 9 of the 9th month of the year, I thought of doing something special, like a 9 of September special, because there are certain numbers, and I have said this in many episodes before, there are certain numbers in Konnakol that are more special in a way, that they're different, that they have more power than others. So I thought, okay, how about if I do an episode about that, and what better date than today, the 9th of September. So in many episodes of this series of Konnakol 2020, I have mentioned that some numbers are more special, such as the number 18, the number 12, and the number 9. I said that they were special, and since today is this special day, I thought of explaining you exactly why, or at least two main ways in which these numbers are special. First of all, it's not that the 18, 12, or 9 are special numbers. This is all about the number 3. And we have seen this in korvais, in abhiprayams, in theermanams, of course, that these are all types of compositions that feature a trinary structure, so a three-part structure in some way or another. Because korvais, for instance, you are supposed to repeat 3 times all the time. And theermanams that don't have gaps in between, they could be understood as 3 phrases of equal length, one after the other. But the number 3 is not only central to rhythm, because we can find many 3-part compositions and structures in both instrumental music and vocal music as well. There are many reasons why the number 3 is such a central, powerful number in Indian music, but those are outside the scope of this video. What I wanted to talk about is how you can use this knowledge when learning compositions of Konnakol and also when attempting to write your own. The number 3 is so important that all the multiples of the number 3 will share some of these magic, if you want. And for that, let's go back to school and revise and go again through the times tables of the number 3 and let's say the 2 first multiples, so 3, 6, and 9. So all the numbers highlighted here and beyond, that means the further multiples such as 12, 15, etc., are more fertile when creating composition. So what do I mean by that? Well, all these highlighted numbers are multiples of 3, which means that each can be divided into 3 equal parts. For example, 12, it can be expressed as 4 plus 4 plus 4, or as we like to write it, 4, 4, 4. 15 is nothing but 5, 5, 5. And 27 is nothing but 9, 9, 9. And these are nothing but gapless theermanams. And for that, you're welcome to go check episode 122 when I talk all about theermanams, which is something that we see all the time in Carnatic music and in Carnatic rhythm, right? All these 555s, tadikinatum, 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 or tatom tadikinatum, tatom tadikinatum, tatom tadikinatum. So that was 999, for example. So if you would be composing a korvai, right, and you would need a phrase for 30 aksharas at the end of it to finish it up, instead of thinking of it in terms of a 30 akshara phrase, you could just think of it as, well, 10 plus 10 plus 10. So that's the first lesson. Whenever you are learning or transcribing or writing your own composition, always look for the multiples of 3, because you're going to get a lot of the proper feel, if you want, about this music. This is not all, though, because the magic of the number 3 gets enhanced when you multiply it by itself. So let me tell you a couple of things about the wonderful number 9. So 9 is the first power of 3, and while we can use the multiples of 9 in the same way that I just explained, right, by dividing by 3, traversing the times tables of the number 9 opens up a whole new level of rhythmic sorcery. So if you have been with me from the beginning here at Konnakol 2020, you will have noticed that many compositions have a kind of theermanam at the end that has this kind of shape. Let's say 5-5-5, one gap, 5-5-5, one gap, 5-5-5. Let's forget about the gaps for a moment and let's focus on the fives. If we count them, we'll see that these are 9 instances of the number 5. Right? Because we have 3 5s before the first gap, 3 5s in between the 2 gaps, and then lastly 3 more 5s at the end. And if we would like to alter this pattern, right, let's say adding some beats to it or removing some beats from it so that it becomes 6-6-6, one gap, 6-6-6, one gap, 6-6-6, or perhaps 4-4-4, one gap, 4-4-4, one gap, 4-4-4, what we will have to do is either add or remove how many? Well, 9 aksharas from in any direction, right? Because we have 9 instances. So we move in batches of 9. So let's see an example. Back in episodes 55 to 60, I showed you a korvais series, and the first part of it had this structure displayed here. So the last line, you can see that it has this theermanam that I just mentioned. 5-5-5, one gap, 5-5-5, one gap, 5-5-5. But let's count the aksharas in each line. So the first line, the total of it is 32. The second line total is 27. And the third line's total is 22. And yes, the theermanam itself, when you add all the 5s and the gaps, has a length of 47 aksharas. And when you add it all up, this is 128, which is exactly 4 avartanams if you are in Adi Talam Chaturashanada Madhyama Kalam, which is exactly the subdivision we were in. Now, let's take a look at the next korvai in the series that I presented back in episode 56. The difference in the theermanam is clear, because all the 5s have become 6s. The value of the last line has become 56, which is, you guessed it, 9 beats more than the length of the previous theermanam, which was 47, because 56 minus 47 is 9. For this to work, we need to compensate this increase with a decrease of an equal value. So the first line is 4 aksharas shorter, the third line is 3 aksharas shorter, and the second line is 2 aksharas shorter. And when you add 4, 3, and 2, that is 9. So that's again another way in which we have decreased some part of a composition and added to another part of the composition. But all of that works in this way because we are talking in terms of 9s or their multiples. The korvais series continues for 4 more episodes, and you are very welcome to go check them out. But I think the point I'm trying to make is clear. Carnatic music, and especially Carnatic rhythm, is full of 3-part and 9-part phrases. So whenever you can, look for phrases that are based around the number 3 or multiples of it, or even better, around the number 9 or multiples of it. And I guarantee that you'll have a lot of fun figuring out how the mechanics of these compositions work, and you'll be able also to write your own. But a word of warning there, mechanics is not all. You still need to have the compositions be musical, be simple to play. It's not just a bunch of numbers and you'll have a beautiful composition. It doesn't work like that, and that is a whole nother subject. So that's all from me today. Thanks a lot for watching this special episode to celebrate the 2 9s in the calendar that we have today. And let me know what you think by using the Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube comments. Or you can also contact me directly via my social networks displayed here. Anyway, that's all from me tonight. Thanks a lot for watching. I have been Carlitos from Slovenia, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.